Morning, Megan.
Good morning, Nance.
How are
Cheers.
you? Cheers to you.
I'm good. I'm a little tired this morning, but other than that, I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, I'm tired. We have company coming tonight, and that's always another element of, you know, fun. And
Yes.
our Yellow Dog creative team is in the finals of a volleyball tournament, so we have that tonight. I am a spectator and the best cheerleader. Uh, but anyway, so yeah, a lot going on, and I need to kind of get my house ready, but busy day.
Yeah. So I thought we could bring a couple ideas to the table and then we'll just choose one. And what's been on my mind this week that's super relevant, actually, for the past month is one of my clients is possibly changing digital marketing companies. And I feel for you marketing people because it's a lot of work. So that's what's like that process is on my mind this morning.
It's exhausting.
What's on your mind?
What's on
It
my
is.
mind? I received a copy of this report that I shared with you. It's a private equity kind of
Yeah.
a, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know what's on my mind? What's on my mind are the companies that are actually not part of private equities and how do they leverage bulk buying benefits when they aren't part of a, that's what I'm thinking.
Mm.
Like, why could this group, Home Service Marketing Hub, marketers and the companies that they belong to, why couldn't they join and create a collaboration and buy in bulk? Is that a thing? So that's what's
Just
on
like
my,
how people do in insurance, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I like your topic. And I think it's just like with Google spend, right? These little guys, they're not even little, but compared to the PE group, they look little now. And so, it's hard for them to show up on Google when someone else is bidding so much more as well. So I hear you on that.
Yeah, really
I hear
interesting.
you on that.
So whichever conversation we choose to have for the next 15 minutes, I think both of those should be a follow-up
Yeah.
conversation, you know? But let's talk because you are in the throes of helping this client and you have spent hours, like double digit
Yeah.
hours interviewing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think, you know, what a lot of people don't realize on the marketing side, and you're all, you're either a business owner in the marketing department right now, and when you hear that, oh, we're thinking about changing vendors, it's like, oh my gosh, here, let's put in the extra, 15 to 20 hours a week because it is intense.
Grueling.
Um, and I think it's gotten even more intense now because, um, you have to do your homework so much more. And what really came to mind this morning for me was you're not just interviewing the people in charge anymore, right? Like now I'm interviewing their customers. Then I'm interviewing their team members because how many times have you talked to a great owner or representative of a company and then you get the team and you're like, huh?
Is this the same company? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So the team to me is who you're meeting with every month. Like that's who we should be talking to.
Yeah, and I want to meet I want to meet my person.
Yeah.
I want to make
Yeah.
sure I jive like on a personal level and can have a really good repertoire with this, with this other human that I'm going to be spending the next 5 years with, working together, hopefully, right?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons we started this. At least I had a narrowed down group of companies. I mean, what if we didn't even know where to start?
What if we didn't know that Ferocious even existed? Or, you know, yeah, if we didn't have a community to talk to about any of this stuff.
I mean, I think,
Over.
and I also, owning an agency, you own an agency, I also want to just add on the other side, right? There's no perfect company. Like, just like you being a home service company, you make mistakes. Well, guess what? Marketing companies make mistakes. I don't care if you're direct mail, text messaging, videos, digital, you make mistakes.
Yeah.
And so also I'm sitting here thinking like, is it that much better on the other side too? Like if you have a team that's really dedicated to you and willing to truly partner with you, can you dig in and make it work too, rather than changing. And so you really have to you have to do an evaluation of like, well, these are all the things that are super important to me. And does this agency meet most of those or not?
And
I'm,
another question,
go ahead.
another question that I have been asked several times by some of the people that we work with, how long would it take me to hire and train someone to be my inside person? Like, say you want to bring that inside your digital marketing. I mean, I've had that question because I think that company leadership gets so frustrated with the churn and the change and
Yeah.
the revolving door of account reps. And we've actually had one client that did hire someone that now, I mean, they're big enough. They have, 3 different locations and they have their own digital marketing internally, which
Yeah.
is that an option?
I've seen that. I worked with companies too that brought it in-house. Sometimes it's tough though, because you're hiring one person, right? And the great thing about an agency sometimes is you get to bounce ideas off people. If you're a Google partner, you're getting like the latest information. And so are you also, because you're so small now, not able to take care, like, are you not able to utilize all of the opportunities that you could if you were with an agency? It's tough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have all the answers.
Well, and
Because
another,
again, I've,
when you are with a group that is working with multiple, especially if they only work with companies in the home service,
yeah,
they're seeing what's working, what's not working. Now, granted, it's going to be different whether someone's in Dallas, Texas, or Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Okay, big difference, right, in markets. But they're still seeing trends and they're still seeing what's working, what's not working. They have this inner conversation going with their other teammates of what they're seeing too. So there is a really good glance behind the curtain a little bit when you work with an agency versus have someone come in internal.
yeah. And I, being on both sides of this in the past, I also, it's a lot of work to do good SEO. It's a lot of work to do these things. It's your company, Yellow Dog, tons of work. And so when
Tons.
you are, looking at also price, look at what you charge to install, your team and charges to install an HVAC system. Like, things are expensive right now. And to get good results, you have to pay for it. So,
But the nice
um,
thing about home services is typically the price point of what the home service companies are selling. It doesn't take a ton of good sales, qualified leads to make up for that expense, right?
yeah,
So that is
yeah,
one
it's
good.
true.
It's not like we're selling friendship bracelets for the Taylor Swift concert. You know what I mean? That are like 82 cents a piece. We're selling big packages, the companies are. So it does make it a little bit, I think, more justifiable, the amount of
Yeah.
money that's being spent.
And another thing that's been brought up too is like, I'm looking at contract lengths and looking at all of that, like, um, I know it's frustrating. We get locked into these 12-month contracts for these agencies, but at the same time, like, it is a big commitment for them, right? When they're taking the time to build all this content on your site and do all this work, maybe redo your website. Like, you don't want to do all that work and then 4 months later say, okay, like, I'm on my merry way now. Like, that's so I'm also like, I'm digging into that too. Like, okay, the contract length, and is it month to month after, like, all the questions, right, that come up. And
And
everybody's different. It's not like everybody's doing the same thing at all.
no, but I'll tell you, I think it is fair to give any vendor a chunk of time. I can't tell you how
I do
many
too.
I've spoken to that say, yeah, we did it for a few months. We didn't see. Well, you did it for a few months? What? Like
Yeah.
all the time and energy you have to commit. You have to just jump in bed with these vendors and you just have to commit to it. And I personally don't think a year contract should frighten anyone. I think that's a fair amount of time. That's a huge part of your business, especially, the digital and website part of it. That's it's a big commitment and it's a big
It
job.
is.
You owe it to them to give them a year to do their job and prove themselves.
And that's why this homework up front is so important, right? Like taking the time to vet these partners. And, I'm not only am I calling these like references, right? So every company's giving me references. Now I'm kind of doing an analysis as well on their SEO. Like, is it like I'm doing an analysis of what they say they're great at? So, um, are they really? I don't know yet. I haven't started the analysis yet, but that's, you can say you're good at all these things, but look at the customers and talk to their customers. And they're going to give you their best brand ambassadors, right? The people that love them. So, you might
Just
have to dig a
digging.
little bit deeper, right? Every agency, every company that you work with has customers that absolutely like love them, adore them, would say the best things about them. But then there's some customers I think that are always like, they're just okay. And so getting a variety, I think is important.
And I think it's also okay to have they're okay.
Yeah.
I think because if they don't have that, then they're not real.
Yeah.
If I
Agreed.
have people that are saying, yeah, they didn't really, yeah, the videos just didn't hit for me, or I didn't really love this that they did, then it's kind of like Google reviews. I tell people all the time, don't panic about the ones and twos. That makes you human. It's how you respond to the one and twos, right? So
Exactly.
also expect to get some, okay, that's not a deal breaker for me.
No. The other thing I wanted to bring up too, in our space, in all aspects of our space now, the companies, the vendors, the partners are being bought up by PE companies. So that's changing. That is changing big time. Just like, home service business, that's changing. And so that same company that used to have an incredible reputation that is now bought by, I'm not saying this has happened to everybody, but a few of them. And I would definitely then look, okay, talk to customers. What has happened since you've been bought out? Ask those questions, because I've seen a huge shift in some companies that I really loved, that I thought did great work. And I hate to say that out loud, but it's true.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's hard, growth is hard, and especially rapid growth, which I think a lot of these smaller vendors who dig and fight for this great reputation and then get purchased, and then all of a sudden they don't have that. You lose some of that, and that's going to be a normal thing, unfortunately, that does happen sometimes. And but it is happening. You're absolutely right. More and more. I
yeah,
bet you once every few weeks we hear of, hey, did you hear that so and so was purchased by so and so? And it just is what it is. So we just have to continue to work together, help our community here on the Home Service Marketing Hub, and just keep
yeah,
the station going. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks for the chat.
All right. Hey, I hope you have a good day, Megan.
Have a great Labor Day. This will probably
Yeah.
be showing after Labor Day, but it's Labor Day this weekend. So enjoy the guests and have a great time.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.